Kids are spending more time than ever in front of screens, whether it be their tablet, computer, cell phone, any kind of technology that they have in front of them. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, the recommended time for children to spend in front of a screen a day is 2 hours a day from the ages of 3 to 18. And if you're 2 or younger, they actually don't recommend you spending any time at all in front of the screen. Screen time is actually affecting our children in more ways than you think. That it's contributing to obesity from where they sit in front of their screens all day and do nothing, and they see ads for sugary cereals and treats and candy that they want, and they said that that's also a contributing factor, so much so that it's affecting the risk of diabetes in children actually. It's also affecting the way that they interact with other children. They're finding that children don't know how to recognize emotions in people anymore because they spend so much time in front of the screens. They did a study actually where they took children into a room and asked them to identify the emotions of people in pictures, and then they took them out to a camp for a week where they didn't have any access to technology, and after 5 days they found that children were actually able to recognize emotions better because they hadn't been around technology. It also leads to irregular sleep patterns in children. They wake up in the middle of the night constantly. They're having bad dreams or nightmares from the violence they're seeing in front of the TV screens. They just are, it's really affecting the sleep pattern. Most people actually recommend that you turn, and this is for adults as well, you actually turn off all of your electronic devices and TV screens, anything like that, 2 hours before bedtime so that your body has time to adjust to that. It affects melatonin levels in you. And of course, not sleeping, according to the Mayo Clinic, actually leads to behavior problems in children. They act out, they're sleepy, tired, cranky. They just have an overall sense of being just totally drained from staying up all night on their phones or they're, watching TV. Some of the recommended solutions actually are for kids to go outside when they get home instead of using technology. They recommend that, outside time is more valuable than anything else. It sparks creativity in children and helps their problem-solving abilities. Also, parents can set timers for their children to limit the amount of time that they're spending on technology and in front of the screens. Some parents have problems setting timers though because they fear their child will act out once the timer goes off and it's time for them to get off, but actually they recommend that that's a great solution. They also recommend that you only use technology for educational purposes, to only let your child do their homework or to let them look up something that they need to look up, or play educational games. I know personally, I only let my son use his tablet when he's playing his little educational ABC games or whatever. But, yeah, I think screen time is just absolutely, ruining our children, this generation. They need to be outside. They need to be playing. It's not doing them any good to sit in front of a TV all day and watching cartoons or, nothing. So I believe that screen time definitely needs to be cut down in children.